Hi all, Heber here. So we are continuing yet again with our Agile Edinburgh showcase here, and this time here we are going to show a bit of a brawl, because this cruiser is very good at brawling. I mean, as long as you can protect your broadside, you're going to be fine. So we are on, I think this is Trap. I believe that's the name of the map. I think so, I can't remember. And we're heading in for the A cap, because we have 2 destroyers in the game, and chances are one of them is going to be here for sure. So we're heading in such a way that I will get spotted before I make it to the island, so I can tell then if there's a destroyer in the area, because usually they come through this area here where the York is at the moment. So I'm spotted now, meaning that yes, there is a destroyer in here. So all I have to do is pretty much just put myself in a good position to head in there and take care of the destroyer. And the York is going the long way around the island, meaning that he takes himself out of the battle for a while. And there we have the destroyer. So I'm going to go the other way here, so I can try to ambush him. Because usually players think that once the cruiser disappears like this, that means that the player is sitting behind the island waiting for well, I don't know, waiting for something. But not Agile Edinburghs, because we're doing exactly what I pretty much always do here. The destroyer is in a super vulnerable position here, and I keep him spotted with my radar, and I pop out like this, and he has his broadside turned to me. That means that I only need 2 salvos and he is out of the game. The battleships have made a good process on the York there. He's not entirely dead yet, which is a little bit of a problem because he has torpedoes. And at the same time, I'm trying to angle towards the battleship so I don't expose my broadside to him. So I would rather expose a little bit of broadside to the York and then try to wiggle my way around the incoming shells from the cruiser, because I have a better chance of getting rid of that guy than I do the incoming battleship. So we really need to get this York out of the way now, because I have to concentrate on the battleship and of course the incoming torpedoes as well, if you just notice them coming there. So we will use the Agile build to pretty much trick this York into wasting those torpedoes, and the Brandenburg as well. And we get our torpedoes off, meaning that, yep, we have brawled our way into securing this A cap here. Not by myself, I might add. I have a lot of battleship backup. Perhaps a little bit too much battleship backup, and I'm kind of showing my dissatisfaction right now with the fact that 4 battleships are sitting on top of each other on one flank, leaving everything else undefended. So I am still spotted, meaning that there is another destroyer here within my circle of concealment, and I'm not entirely sure where he is, but I have a pretty good idea, because obviously he's capped B, and then he must have just continued over towards this cap here. So that's why I'm kind of looking the way where I think he is. And if you saw my spotted indicator there, the Ingenious, it came on just for a little bit and then it disappeared again. And that usually means that torpedoes are incoming, and it also means that I can triangulate, or not triangulate, but I can kind of calculate my way to where the destroyer exactly is. So that's why I go this way, because I know for a fact that the torps are coming from somewhere on the angle over there. And these are the calculations you have to do all the time in the game, and even more so when you play Agile Cruisers, because like, you don't play with cover unless obviously you can. And in this case here, I didn't have much cover after grabbing the cap, so I have to know exactly where the other ships are in my mind, so I don't get any, weird incoming salvos that citadel me. And yeah, that's difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but it's also very satisfying when you pull it off. It's another reason that Agile Cruisers always come with the Ingenious skill. First of all, it gives you that count of how many people target you, and I mean the count itself is pretty much useless. It's more the fact that someone is actually targeting you, and how long they target you for, and the lay of the map at that moment where you are getting targeted. Like all these things come together, and you need to figure out what they mean, which takes practice, yes. But once you got it down, you can pretty much, know where everyone is on the map without even looking at the actual minimap in the corner. Of course, you have to look once in a while, but you don't need to look all the time. You just have to infer these things from the information that the game gives to you. And I mean, the more information you get, the better it is. And that's also a reason that I love when destroyers have the indicator on, where you know you are the closest ship in the game to a destroyer, or like usually a destroyer, can be cruisers too. I mean, that really just gives me, the enemy, even more information to use to figure out their position and what they're up to. So I never have that on my destroyers, because once I run into a destroyer with that, like at this exact moment here, I know I'm located, I know the destroyer is the closest ship to me, so he's less than 7.6 kilometers away, and obviously he's in A cap. That means that I'm easily able to radar him, and he's also spotted there for a little bit. But I don't want to radar him too early, because I want to be sure I have my turrets in the right position to take care of him quite quickly. So that's also the reason I didn't continue on from the B cap, because I knew there was still a destroyer over here, and I can't just leave this cap here on its own, because obviously he's just gonna grab it and then probably get ahead on points. And we have the radar on now, which is obviously a bad thing for the Kagero, and just getting him with as many shells as I possibly can to get rid of him, because I can't really afford for him to get away, because I have to wait a long time for my next radar. So that's another destroyer gone, the only 2 destroyers in the game, and I've done my job. So I could hang back here and just, wait and take pot shots, because we have 4 battleships storming forward, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do fine. But we might as well head into the fray with them, because, well, otherwise I'll just get bored. And I mean, the more ships, the better anyway. And with that much support, there's no real threat of me getting overrun or anything like that. I say that, but then, of course, in some battles, that's exactly what happens. Like, suddenly, at the same time, all the blue battleships go broadside, and they get taken out, and you're left there standing with your, pants down on your ankles, thinking, what happened here? So it's a bit of a gamble sometimes, but in this case, yeah, I am pretty confident that these battleships here actually know what they're doing. So like I said before, that located indicator that the enemy gets once you have that perk on your destroyer, you have to be careful with that, because sometimes, yes, it can be a slight help in your destroyer, but mostly you are just pretty much giving away your position, especially if the other team has an ingenious equipped cruiser that is hunting you. You might as well just light fireworks and say, here I am in my destroyer. It really is that much of a downside. So be careful with that, but of course, if you like to play with it, none of my business. Anyway, we are pretty much moving into the last third of this battle here, and we have both caps, and we are slowly but securely edging ahead on points. And there's no destroyers left, so I'm not gonna take much chances here. I'm just gonna play it safe, let the battleships tank a little bit for a change here, and then I'm just gonna see if I can't get myself a little crack in here. It's a bit difficult because there are only battleships left. Well, there is one cruiser, but he's way too far away. I'm not gonna waste time on chasing that guy down. And chances are these battleships are going to pretty much lay waste to these red battleships before I can get in and do any sort of meaningful damage, because there's not really any broadsides I can farm with my AP, and I'm just gonna get mostly shatters when they are bow on or stern on. So I'm taking a few pot shots at the Cleveland. I mean, you never know, you could get a Kraken, and As you saw there, no one ever wastes an opportunity to shoot at me. Always. If you're the last cruiser left, then you are absolutely sure that you're gonna get targeted in one of these like final thirds of the battle here, where the final battleships are just fighting for their lives. And even more so if you happen to be a CC and you are in CC camo and you have green tracers on your ship, you're just asking for it. And I like that. It's a challenge. So I'm just gonna use my ship to separate these two guys here, because I don't really know what they're up to. But sometimes it can take a long time to get one battleship, you know, unglued from another. So I might as well do that. I was going that way anyway. So we've got these enemy battleships here whittled down sufficiently. So I'm going to move in and see if I can steal myself a kill here to complete my Kraken. I can reveal that I don't succeed, but that's okay. Like I said, in like probably 5 minutes ago, I've done my job in this battle here. There are no destroyers left. I've caught them on guard, I've taken them out, and the rest is really up to the battleships, more or less. I mean, I can help, but without HE shells, it's hard for me to make any sort of meaningful impact on these battleships here, unless they are full broadside, and we use our agility to completely negate that salvo there. That's a whole wasted salvo from Aroma, and I can go straight back into being broadside and being annoying and just, yeah, being an agile cruiser. So that was the end of the battle, and that was an agile Edinburgh brawling for a cap and pretty much doing its job. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.